OnlyFans star. You know what that means. Courtney Clenny is seen covered in blood being questioned by cops next to her two dogs moments after stabbing her boyfriend to death in their Miami apartment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I'm daily uploading, you already know the vibes. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a story that I recently came across that just actually kind of threw me off, kind of shook me. And in this story, I'm going to be talking about this 25-year-old girl, Courtney Clenny, who's an online model or an OnlyFans star or, you know, a virtual Okay, let me not say that. But you get what I'm trying to say. She's an e-girl, if you want to go there. And this is how she looks like. She has over 2 million followers on Instagram and, you know, hella Simpson. White knights on her OnlyFans beating off to her images every single day. I mean, at this point in time, you know, there's just plenty of girls who look like carbon copies of each other who literally post the same thing with nothing more to their personality than ass and tits. You guys already know the vibes, and yeah, it's nothing new, you know. It's actually getting to the point to where I'm actually tired of looking at this stuff. Like, I don't even look at it, it just comes across my feed sometimes. And now that I'm talking about this news story, I'm unintentionally having to look at more ass and tits. It's getting old. At least this news story is interesting because, as you just saw on your screen, this girl, this psycho, ended up killing her boyfriend for God knows what. We're gonna get into that story right now. But before we get into the story, I do want to show an image of the boyfriend. This is him next to Courtney Clenny in the white outfit. This is him right here. Here's another image of the boyfriend behind, I believe, Courtney. Another image of him hanging out with his boys. And this all came from a tweet from this girl named Ash at butterflybaby415 on Twitter. Shout out to her. She said, "It seems as though this story is being silenced. At Courtney Taylor," which is her Twitter handle, "killed her boyfriend Christian Umselli Sunday night in their Miami apartment. She's been Baker acted, so the news can't release her name. It's not confirmed whether or not she killed him in his sleep or if he was awake and this was during an altercation. What we do know is that she did stab him and took his life. Please don't support her in buying any of her content." She's referring to her OnlyFans. "And as the story unfolds, we will share more. Just wanting to make sure the media doesn't make Christian out to be the bad guy. We're speaking out on this because my boyfriend and I were closest to them in friendship. And after talking to their family, it seems as though they were in the dark about how toxic their relationship was and all the abuse that happened leading up to this." So this is the girl Ash who tweeted that out. I believe she is in the photo next to Courtney Clenny right here in the highlighted green shirts. And here she goes again next to her boyfriend, I believe. And she said that her and her boyfriend were closest to Christian Obumselli. So shout out to Ash for actually being one of the first people, I believe the first person to kind of break the story, since she was close to Christian and that was her friend. You know, a lot of stories like this go unnoticed, especially if, you know, the woman is the one committing the crime. As we all know that the justice system tends to be more lenient on female perpetrators, especially if they fit into a certain demographic of, you know, being within a certain ethnic group. I'm not getting into that, but you guys already know what I'm trying to say. It is what it is. That's reality. Pretty blonde girls always get a pass regardless of what they do in society. So yeah, I do want to go ahead and get into the meat of the story though. And before I do, I want to show this image of what TMZ posted today as I'm recording. This is the girl, 25-year-old Courtney Clenny, covered in all blood with her hands behind her back because I guess she's been arrested, and you can see her poor little dog looking up at her, and she's looking up at the dog like, yeah, I fucked up. And obviously the blood is from her boyfriend Christian, for those of you who want me to piece it together for you. And here's another image from a different vantage point. I believe this is from the adjacent building across from this building, or it may be a part of the same complex, but obviously people are nosy, and if they see some blonde girl covered in all blood, you know, with her hands behind her back because she's obviously arrested, people are gonna take photos and they're gonna record. But I do want to show you also this video of her, you know, instead of the still images, if this video will actually fucking load. I'm literally paying $300 a month for gigabit internet and it's not loading for some reason. Hold up. All right, so I found another source from Daily Mail, thank God for them, of them showing up the video on their website. Check this out. So as you can see, her two dogs are behind her. She's covered in blood. I believe that's a corgi. Not that matters. Obviously certain things are blurred because, you know, she's in a mess right now. So as you can see, the police officers are investigating. The yellow tape is up there, and obviously they've probably asked her tons of questions, but knowing how Miami police officers are, who knows what's going on. The dogs are looking to be licking her face with the blood on it. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, as you can see, this whole entire situation is a whole goddamn mess. And also here's the boyfriend's Instagram, Christian vs Toby. As you can see, it looked like, you know, he was living in Miami and he was living a pretty fun life. I don't know if he was an influencer too. I don't know how he made money, but you can see him posted up in this picture with Post Malone, I believe. So yeah, it looks like these, you know, these people are connected, and maybe he was in the entertainment business as well. Regardless though, this entire situation is effed up, and I'm gonna be getting to reading the article right now. So let's get into it. Covered in the blood of the boyfriend she just stabbed to death, OnlyFans model Courtney Clenny can be seen shivering on the balcony of her Miami apartment while being interviewed by police in a harrowing new video. Clenny, 25, known on the subscription service as Courtney Taylor, stabbed her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, in the shoulder amid a struggle at their Miami condominium on Sunday, police said. Obumseli, 27, was rushed to a nearby hospital where he died from his injuries. The influencer, who has not been formally charged in her boyfriend's death, was hospitalized over mental health concerns after making suicidal threats while in police custody, police said. Her current condition remains unknown. Of course, she goes ahead and makes suicidal, accusations, and I bet as I speak right now, she's trying to make a insanity plea or something like that in her mind. However, investigators are working to determine if Clenny, whose neighbor alleges was abused by Obumseli, acted in self-defense. Here we go. The narrative is already in the works, like I said. Miami police responded to multiple domestic disturbances calls at the couple's apartment over the last 3 months. A neighbor, claiming to have a direct view of the couple's apartment, said he witnessed Obumseli strike Clenny about a week ago before the fatal stabbing. I could not tell if it was open-handed or closed-handed, but he was swinging at her, the unnamed resident told WPLG. However, a trio who identified themselves as close friends of the couple allege the social media model was the violent one in the rocky relationship. And I guess they're talking about the girl that is the one who initiated the exposing of this story in the first place. So Ash tells the local news outlet that, "We've seen her hit him. I've never seen him hit her. From what we've personally experienced between the both of them, we believe that Christian wouldn't put her in a position where she would need to stab him to protect herself. We didn't think this is how far it would have gone." And then Ashley's boyfriend came out saying, "We didn't think this is how far it would have gone. Even that we really lost Christian only. It feels like we lost Courtney at the same time." And the article goes on to say that the girl, Clenny, who murdered her boyfriend, was hospitalized, as we already know, Sunday under Florida's Baker Act. And this law, based on the brief research I did on Google, implies that if a person who's been in a violent altercation expresses any kind of suicidal tendencies or the risk of taking someone else's life or theirs, they may be incarcerated up to 72 hours to have a psychological evaluation by doctors or mental health professionals in a safe environment, which is typically a hospital. Their friends said Clenny and Obumseli moved to Miami from Texas a few years back. The group, which reportedly dined, traveled, and regularly socialized with the pair, said that they are completely distraught over the situation. He was just really high energy, bright, intelligent, would bring a smile to anyone, Josh Ramsey told WTVJ. I'm not sure who Josh Ramsey is. I suppose he's just another friend aside from Ashley and her boyfriend. These are our two friends we've gone on vacation with, we've gone to dinners with, we go out on the town with them, and it seems like it's straight out of a crime documentary, Ramsey told the local news station. We would have never guessed it would have escalated to this point. I think I speak for our whole friend group. We are just shocked, very distraught about this. And yeah, that's pretty much all the information that was in that article, aside from this GoFundMe that was set up by Ashley. I'm actually going to show that in this video right now. For anyone who wants to donate to this guy's family for his funeral, the link is on Ashley's page, or you can go to GoFundMe/D4C68B7F, and that'll lead you to his page explaining the situation. And so far, surprisingly, wow, it's almost completed its goal of $100,000. It's up to $68,483 right now. So the story's gone viral. A lot of people are pouring in a lot of resources. for this guy. And I'm just hoping that it doesn't turn out that this guy was actually abusing her and, you know, she actually had to defend herself by stabbing him or whatever. Like, that just would be unfortunate, as a lot of people so far have donated to his GoFundMe, and I really don't want people feeling regret over this. And also the building of where this place happened, which is in Miami, Florida. The address is 3131 Northeast 7th Avenue, Miami, Florida. I'm pretty sure at least one of you people who live in this building watch my videos. So if you do, send me a DM on Twitter or Instagram, because I really want to know what the hell is going on in that building and how everybody is dealing with the situation. But the building's management did come out with a letter saying, "Dear One Paraiso residents, please be advised there was a domestic altercation that took place earlier in one of our 01 line units. The local authorities arrived at the scene and are handling the matter. As such, they have requested that the P1 elevator be taken out of service for the time being. In speaking with them, I've learned that we should be able to restore service early tomorrow morning. Rest assured, there are no safety concerns with our elevator nor the property. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. Signed, Ron Ben David, General Manager, One Paraiso Condominium Association." So yeah, they've clearly labeled this as a quote-unquote domestic altercation, when in fact, this was a murder. Yeah, someone got killed, but I guess you don't want to cause a panic in the building. You know, that could affect price and profit and people paying their rent on time, I guess. And another thing I do want to, you know, talk about in this video before I wrap everything up is the fact that there was this thing, you know, people went back to his Twitter account, found some tweets of him being, you know, offensive to a specific group of people in this country. You know, I first heard about it from this other content creator named Paris Milan on YouTube. Shout out to her. She's a good content creator, although I don't agree with everything she says. I understand where she's coming from though, when she talked about the fact that, you know, he made these tweets. I'm not sure these tweets when they came out. I don't know if this was earlier this year or many years ago when he was younger, but he did say, "One of my friends, quote, black girls are born knowing how to shake they ass. Me. Honestly, I don't care. They not my type." Another tweet said, "Can't believe one of my friends thinks I talk to black girls when I don't." Another one said, "The way black girls disgrace themselves on TV." Another one said, "At Molly, man, white titties over black titties, just saying ha." And all I gotta say is, man, listen, bro, the guy, regardless of his opinions on black women or black girls and, you know, what he's attracted to, the dude still died. He still got murdered. And I know after watching Paris Milan's video, a lot of black girls are angry at the fact that he said those things about them and are now justifying and cracking jokes at the fact that he died at the hands of a white girl, which was his preference. Like, for example, even a comment under this post from some girl said, "Obviously, I don't agree with what he wrote, but he still was murdered. It really doesn't matter that he had a preference." Then somebody else wrote, "Then let his preference get him justice. Will be tricky seeing that very preference chefed him," meaning killed him, you know. So yeah, I mean, listen, I don't agree with, you know, discriminating against any kind of woman, regardless of what they look like, to a certain degree. Like, come on, man. If you're like 300 pounds and you can barely get off the couch, all right, I'm gonna have to flame you. But, you know, when it comes to gender, race, and, you know, all that, like, bro, I'm pretty much attracted to all kinds of girls. I just find, like, all kinds of girls of all races and ethnicities and all that, like, they're pretty people all over the world. So it's like, I'm not the kind of one to discriminate off of that in the way that he did. But I don't think him being offensive or controversial in what he posted take away from the fact that he's now dead. Like, this girl killed him, and there needs to be an investigation into exposing what really happened, and trying to justify his murder because of what he wrote on Twitter is absolutely illogical and disgusting, in my opinion. I feel like sometimes we just need to take the emotion out of things and focus on what really happened. And then after that investigation, then we can start to judge the person's character after we get justice. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know yours down below in the comment section. And yeah, until next time, stay safe out there.